Cuddlist Talks is here. Yay! So I'm here to talk about reintroduction to touch. What does that mean? Creating a culture where we really are getting down to the essentials of what touch is, right? And for so many people, that also means touch in a non-sexual world. So it could be those who are celibate, could be those who are sexually abstinent, could be asexuals. So what is it? Why reintroduction? You know, touch should be very basic, don't we? We all know what touch is. So I'm here to offer a little information about it and give you 5 truths about touch. Super important that we all begin to internalize these 5 truths about touch. And then talk about why touch is so important in a community of people who have decided that engaging in their sexual side isn't something that they're interested in, isn't something that they're desiring, isn't something they've chosen. So here it goes. First, 5 truths about touch. Before we can talk about this, I need to make sure we're really clear. 1, touch is universal. It's for everyone. We all have skin. As long as you have skin, guess what? Yes, you can touch, right? This is the one thing that we all share. We all see it. It's all part of how we interact in the world. It's universal. It's something that is essential. Number 2, essential for life. What does that mean? It means that if we don't experience touch from birth, in infancy, we die. I mean, if you think about what that means, powerful. We can exist in this world without it. And as you get older, we think, well, you know, we grow up, we grow out of touch. It's not true. We don't grow out of it. We still need it. It's still part of what's important for us. So the first one was it's universal. 2, it's essential for life. 3, and this is what Cuddlist is trying to bring into the world. 3, it is health care. Right? Just like everything else, we go and we get mental health checks, we get physical checks, we get all these checks, but do we ever check into how we feel about touch and being in our bodies? It is healthcare. So when you go and get a massage, come and get a cuddling session, because it's important for all of our system to work, to receive touch. It's great for the immune system. It's great for the cardiovascular system. It makes everything work better because we reduce the stress. And those free radicals, we reduce them, their reproduction. And so it's necessary. Remember, it's universal, it's essential, it's healthcare. Another fourth reason why touch is, the truth about touch is that it is powerful. And that's probably the part that scares us, right? And the part that we need to work through, which we'll talk about in a second. It is powerful. It has the power to harm. It has the power to empower, right? And to uplift, to help you be a better person. So that's that. So that's happening there. And the 5th truth about touch that I want to make sure we talk about is that it is available. It is at all times. And so many of us don't know how to access that. So many of us believe we don't deserve it. And we'll get into how that happens, that we lose touch with touch, essentially. So this moves into then let's talking about what we've done to touch in our culture. We've relegated it to sex. And I know that's the word that I'm supposed to kind of stay away from, but I felt like today, because we're talking about celibacy, we're talking about people who are asexual, we've talked about those who are sexually abstinent, like it's kind of hard not to bring that in. So when we've relegated it to a part of our human existence, we've limited it. We've reduced it. And I hate to use this word, we've cheapened it at times. And that the part that really troubles me is that we've made it a privilege, because not everyone is having that kind of activity in their life. Not everyone is engaging in that way in this world. Either they don't want to, it's not something that is natural for them, or they've chosen not to. And having touch be a privilege is troubling for me, because this thing that is so essential for life, that is so universal, it's so important for health, we've taken it away from a large population. And then talking about the power of touch, now we've robbed it of its power and its potential to change who we are, for us to be in community together. I talk about how we're not meant to be alone. None of us. We weren't created that way. Alone on an island. That's not how our intention as humans. We were supposed to be together and having that touch and that bond and that warmth that we receive from each other is so important. So when we relegate it to that part of our lives that is exclusive to so many people, it's difficult to get. And then anytime someone touches us or there's touch engaged with another person, guess what happens? We think they want sex, right? That's deeply troubling to me. So we've made these connections. And then what happens is that when we fear touch, so when someone touches us, we make the connection. We're afraid of it. We have to repress it. We have to tell people, don't touch, don't, and we push people away because we assume, because we've put those together, we assume that's what they want. And since we're in a sexually repressed culture, touch gets thrown under the bus too. So this is what Cuddlist is all about. We're about resurrecting touch. We're about bringing it back up as an essential part of who we are. It's about us getting excited again about touch that's for everyone. That includes all of us. So going now to the subject that I have here to talk about, Platonic touch, celibacy, all of us, right? Making this a universal. What is my personal experience? And I've had humbling, amazing experiences with people. There's one in particular, there's a collection of some that I'll put all of them 10 together and share with you what happens. So there is a community here of, I'll just say it's an Indian community, people that come here to work and they're very successful in San Antonio, Texas. I didn't even identify who I was. I'm Janet Trevino. So sorry. I live in San Antonio, Texas. And what I've noticed is that there are people who have chosen to wait to engage in any kind of intimate touch. And intimate touch that goes into, nudity and genitals, I should say. So that's something that they honor. That's their culture. They're waiting till they meet their bride. And I think that's wonderful and beautiful, and I honor that culture and that tradition. And so they come to me saying, is it okay for me to come to see you? And it's really important for them to hear when I tell them this is a platonic touch. This is the kind of touch that's, in between romantic. There's a romantic touch, and then there's familial touch. And so it's kind of fits right in between there. And they get so excited, like, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for, because they tell me, and it's a confessional, and it's, again, across the board this has been, they say, I've never touched a woman before. And I'm deeply humbled. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forget. They're in their 20s, some in their late 30s. They're working hard. They're providing for their families back home. They're very successful. They have everything, and they're honoring this code, this promise that they made to their future. But they say, I'm away from my family, and I would like to be able to connect with someone, and work is inappropriate, and I don't know how. So what do I do? So this is something that I did with one person, as they also shared their story of repression and how they had to kind of kill that part of themselves, that part that wanted to reach out and touch, but with all the hormones when they were young, they just didn't know what to do. They shut it all off. So what I did was I took them through an age regression. We went through and I said, all right, let's start off with what was the earliest memory you've had? And they said, well, I remember when I was 2. I said, fantastic. Now let's look at that. How does a 2-year-old touch? Touch me like a 2-year-old would touch. And they went and they kind of touched my face, but it was very gentle, but it was this very awkward and trying to reach out to me. And I was like, that's awesome. That was perfect. And we went through 3-year-old and it got better, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old. And then it's in school, grade school, and then how kids touch. They're not sure, but they get close. They sit next to each other in lunchtime. And then came into 9 and 10-year-old. and they remember going to a school dance, and I thought this was the most interesting thing. It was before all the hormones kicked in, and they said that they learned to dance, right? And I said, let's do it. Let's get up and dance. And so even in a cuddling session, we're working with all sorts of types of touch. Dance could be a possibility for you. So we danced, and they remembered like exactly how to do the dance. It was the sweetest thing. And we did it, and then it was, okay, this is the moment, 11, 12, 13. This is when it stopped. This is when things shifted for me. And I said, let's choose a new path. What does that look like for you? And we found it. And we went through adolescence to the point where it's like, what would it look like to be 18, 19, 20 with your girl, or with your guy, whomever it was. And by the end of our session, they were completely comfortable with touch. We were touching head to toe, and that part of them, again, they resurrected touch for themselves. They learned about touch. They now can move forward and have that confidence. And so other cuddlists, they meet other kind of people that haven't experienced touch or are not, or asexual, or who aren't interested in the sexual side of the touch experience in our culture. And so we want to welcome you. We want to invite anyone and all people who, for religious, cultural reasons, are abstaining from more intimate types of touch, who are looking for platonic touch, people who are celibate, who needing that connection with another human in a more more intimate way, but not, of course, more than that. We're looking for you to come and experience touch with us. We're like you. We want to really make sure we're all connecting in this powerful way. And then those other people who are asexual, who maybe don't have the community that they're looking for yet, or they're looking, they're needing that touch while they find the people that are like them. Or you have a community and you're looking for someone outside your community, whomever it is. We welcome you. Come and join us here at Cuddlist.com. Find a practitioner. Find someone who you can touch with in your area. Yeah, I'm Janet Trevino, and I am in San Antonio, Texas. Come and see me down here. But anyway, thank you all for listening, and hope to hear your comments below. And I'll talk to you soon. See you next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. This is for me, 9 a.m. Central, and I'll talk to you again. Bye bye.